The Kawhi Leonard trade situation explained, okay? And I'm going to break this down for you all and make this very, very simple for everybody. It's been a year of confusion. Right now, today, it ends. I'm going to clear it up for you. Here was the ESPN leaked report. The NBA has found no evidence showing the Clippers owner Steve Ballmer funneled money through team sponsors to Kawhi Leonard in order to circumvent the salary cap, period. And that's 3 sources, by the way. Instead, the NBA is focused now on whether the team's introduction of Leonard to team sponsors constitutes a violation of league rules. The league is examining whether the Clippers are guilty of failure to supervise employees. NBA spokesman Mike Bass said on X Monday, ESPN's article regarding the LA Clippers investigation, for which the NBA declined to cooperate, contains numerous and significant inaccuracies. That's fine. The Clippers said in a team statement, we introduced players, including Kawhi Leonard, to companies with which we had business relationships. Making introductions between players and team partners is both an ordinary practice by NBA teams and a common request of players and representatives. Clippers statement. The fact that a player has an endorsement relationship with a company that also does business with this team is not evidence of salary cap circumvention. That is the best team statement ever. The Clippers just said, bleep you, buddy, leave us alone. We've done nothing wrong. Kawhi Leonard explained. That's the segment, right? Check it out. This is one of the biggest non-stories and most annoying sports stories of our time. Let me get this straight. The Clippers sent a couple of emails that connected Kawhi Leonard to their corporate sponsors, and then they let Kawhi Leonard and the sponsors take it from there in terms of what they wanted from him and what they ultimately paid him. Every other team in the league does the exact same thing with their players. Every team. Maybe Pablo Torre doesn't always find out. What I just described is how business works in America. You create a brand. Your brand takes off. It becomes huge. American companies want to plug into your brand like they're all clamoring to plug into Ashley Neville's brand right now, okay? Because it's going to help their brand be more successful. Duh. How does that happen? The power of relationships. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Ladies and gentlemen, no evidence is all you need to know about the Kawhi Leonard investigation. Kawhi Leonard right now is unofficially a Toronto Raptor, and soon, before the season, he will officially be a Toronto Raptor. Let's go to Ashley Neville here. Ashley, make sense. Explain the Kawhi Leonard situation in your own words. Do you have your arms around this now like I do or not?
At this point, I just don't even care. Like, I am just so over the situation. It's been going on for over a year, and the league has taken forever to investigate. But it does kind of seem like the NBA is trying to sweep this under the rug, given the fact that it took so long. I think they wanted everything to just go away so they didn't have to investigate. But I do think there's something, maybe some blurred lines, crossing boundaries a little bit. I don't really believe the Clippers because Pablo does find out a lot. And if other teams were doing this, I think he would have found out. So clearly there's something within this story that isn't quite adding up. And maybe they're not going to have enough sufficient evidence to prove anything. And the Clippers kind of found this loophole where they could say, well, we intro everyone and whatever they decide to do with their partnerships, we don't have anything to do with that, right? But how do we know there wasn't meetings that took place that could help circumvent the salary cap? I don't know. Some of the stuff could have been off the record, right? There's a lot of like handshakes and deals that go on behind the scenes that we're never aware of. And I don't think Pablo would have spent this much time and effort digging up whatever he could to expose this situation. So I think there is something going on. Whether or not we find out is another thing. I just think the NBA wants this to go away because Kawhi Leonard is still one of the faces and top players in the league, and obviously would make a huge difference in Toronto. So I think the NBA is trying to cover this up, as I think they have with other situations in the past when it comes to superstar players. I'm not surprised by this, but I do think there is something going on beyond the surface, beneath the surface, that we're not wary to at the moment. But yeah, the NBA to me is just trying to sweep this under the rug, be done with it. And again, there's probably nothing to see here. I do think there is maybe something a little bit more.
Dwight Walton up there in Canada. And on opening night, Kawhi Leonard's going to be up there, and they're going to have the flag and the whole thing. Anyway, how do you explain this right now, Dwight?
I'll first say this. In the court of public opinion, Steve Ballmer, the LA Clippers, and Kawhi Leonard are all guilty of something. But ultimately, it doesn't matter what us in social media, the media, nor the fans, what we think. It doesn't matter how we think. However, I'm just going to expound on what Ashley just said. Pablo Torre isn't going through all of this just for, lack of a better term, shits and giggles. He's not. There's something there, and I firmly believe if no punishments are levied upon the Clippers, Steve Ballmer, and Kawhi Leonard, you're simply opening up Pandora's box for other players, other teams to attempt to do the same thing. And as the Clippers here are claiming, plausible deniability. I know that's a part of lawyer vernacular. It is what it is. But you could always say, as in the case of Kawhi Leonard, he can say, listen, my Uncle Dennis handled all of that stuff. I have nothing to do with it. I don't know what he was doing. When we know, at least most likely, he knew something was going on. So, for my opinion, while there may be, quote unquote, nothing to see here in regards from what the NBA has found, and as y'all have been saying, the NBA simply wants this to go away, it's not going to simply go away. You're going to be opening up Pandora's box if you allow all the parties involved in this to, quote unquote, get away with this. You can't. You have to levy some sort of punishment. Now, again, none of us are naive to where we're going to think that none of this stuff happens all the time. Again, I don't want to bring up Jalen Brunson and his willingness to give up $113 million for the betterment of the New York Knicks so they can build a roster. He better cover up the paper trail. There are other deals out there, I'm sure, that resemble what Jalen Brunson has done, what Kawhi Leonard has attempted to do, and others across the NBA, which is why, again, if no evidence has been found, that's fine. But the reality is Pablo Torre found something. It's out in the airwaves, whether we want it to be or not. Something has to be done, or else, in my opinion, the credibility of the NBA and Adam Silver will take a major hit because everybody's going to start to do what the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard and Steve Ballmer have attempted to do. Again, let's not be naive. It does happen, but it can't be so blatantly out here and something not happen to deter, the future behavior of the rest of the NBA. Some punishments have to be levered here, in my opinion.
All right, I got to follow up on that.
I wanted to follow up on that too, really quick.
I've got to ask a question of. I can hear you. I've got to ask a question of both of you. Okay, and I'm not disagreeing, and I'm not getting fussy. I'm just really curious. What do you think the Clippers did? Because you're talking about something without sort of like specifically speculating about it. Like something had to have happened. I think they did something. The league needs to penalize them for something. And I'm not being incredulous either. I just want to go beyond the surface here with you guys because obviously the report starts with the NBA found no evidence of any illegal stuff going on. And it was 3 sources, 1, 2, 3 of them. Okay, not just one. So Dwight, you first. What do you think the Clippers did? What do you think Steve Ballmer and or Kawhi Leonard allegedly did?
The Kawhi Leonard took less money, knowing that he was going to get more money from Steve Ballmer and the Clippers to allow them to facilitate other great players because Kawhi Leonard wanted to win a championship. And by taking less money, allegedly, then you could build a roster within the salary cap, within the rules that were in place at that time. That's the most simplest way I could explain it. Otherwise, Kawhi Leonard, we all know that
But
Kawhi
Dwight,
Leonard,
there's no evidence of them doing that. There's no evidence of them doing that.
Okay, that's fine. That's what they're saying. But there has to be something there for Pablo Torre to have exposed something. I get it. I understand that technically nothing has been found, but something was found and something was done. Kawhi Leonard's initials are over two separate entities where he was going to get paid in excess of $60 million without having to show up for work. So something was found, correct? And listen, it's, again, no evidence was found, but something was found. And that's my point. And I think this needs to be nipped in the bud immediately. Otherwise, you're going to see more of this. And then teams are going to recruit lawyers to find loopholes so they can get away with it. Then you're opening up Pandora's box for everything to happen. Then this could be a complete messy disaster. That's my point. Kawhi took as less as he could when we all know he wants to get as much as he can underneath the rules so they can facilitate the roster to help him get his championship with the then Clippers.
Go ahead, Ash. What do you think they did? Do you agree with Dwight, or do you have more to add to that?
I mean, I agree with him 100% on all of that. But I do want to say, I don't know if Steve Ballmer actually knew of this, but maybe some people within the organization who handles all of this did it without him knowing. And I say that just because I think he's genuinely a good guy. I just don't know if he knows all the inner workings of what's going on within his organization. If you take a look at some of the trades that took place, like I don't want to say he's not the smartest owner in the world, but I don't think he's the smartest NBA owner. But another thing I want to add on to that is the fact that the Los Angeles Lakers, there was a report saying that Kawhi Leonard and his team were requesting prohibited things within a potential contract with them, one of being including a house, a private jet, guaranteed off-court money, and a team ownership stake, which violates the NBA's collective bargaining agreement. So after that came out, you really want me to believe that he wasn't requesting some of that same stuff, if you will, with the Clippers? And then this report with Pablo comes out that they were potentially offering him, sponsorship opportunities with all these other companies that they're doing business with in order to circumvent the salary cap. I think it's exactly spot on with what Dwight said. He's getting money elsewhere, right? And then he took less money from the Clippers so that they could build a roster around him. It didn't work out that way. I believe that's karma for what the Clippers did, right? But at the end of the day, it's clear that Kawhi's team was asking for favors and other prohibited requests within the collective bargaining agreement, as per that Lakers statement that I guess the then Jeannie Buss immediately rejected the demands as well, ending negotiations. This isn't a lie. No one debunked that. It wasn't refuted. This clearly happened with the Lakers, and they said no. And that trade went through, obviously did not go through. So yes, something happened. We might not ever find out what it is, but Pablo knows.
Come on, Rick. Listen, you've been in the media business for 30 plus years. Pablo Torre is one of the more credible reporters that we have in the media business. He is not going to put his name on the line nor attach himself to something that's going to be a smokescreen. There's a lot of tentacles to this. There's a lot of credibility to this. He has been loud and proud in regards to this. Again, the NBA could say what they want. And again, we are in the court of public opinion. But where there's smoke, there's fire, man. And the NBA needs to do something. If they let all the parties involved walk away from this unscathed, all hell's going to break loose as far as I'm concerned.
So I don't believe, Dwight, that that's going to happen. I want to go back to what I read from the ESPN article about the failure to supervise. ESPN reported that the NBA has moved on to vetting that, not vetting. They've found no evidence that that Ballmer circumvented the salary cap. Maybe they hit it beautifully, or maybe they didn't do what they have been alleged to have done, but they didn't find evidence. But ESPN's reporting that now the NBA is kind of going down a different avenue, and that is determining whether they penalize them for quote unquote failure to supervise your players. That, Dwight, is how I think the NBA vets this. They find Steve Ballmer $500,000 or some big number, right? Okay. So there will be some kind of penalty going on here. That's what I think is the ultimate conclusion here. Might be $1 million, 500K, whatever that is. Okay. And is that going to scare other teams away? Not really. But to your point, you're not going to open up Pandora's box if you penalize them, at least ceremoniously or symbolically, I guess is the better word there.